to everyone here on our beautiful Discord, and then as usual, like we wait for the first message to officially get started with anything. Hey Fuego, that was fast today. So that means we can get started with the whole bonanza here today. Um, how are you today, man?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Today in Korea, like this weekend's Korean Thanksgiving, the holidays. So it's a little like kind of like different than kind of like normally it's kind of like 4 days off. So it's gonna be like from Friday to Monday, so holidays. We are supposed to go to my wife's grandparents' house. However, my father-in-law got COVID, and her sister and mother are gonna take care of him, so we're not gonna end up coming. So the good news is that I'm gonna stay around, and I'm probably gonna do some work, and I'm gonna chill a little bit. So maybe I can hang out here in a stream a little bit. Let's see. But yeah, the country is gonna be kind of traveling a lot next days. I don't envy that. The traveling part of the Korean Thanksgiving is awful. It's so annoying. And but it's okay. Hey, Gambit's here. Nice to see you. Picarx, Sally as well here. Welcome everyone tonight. Yeah, and I just mentioned about the Korean Thanksgiving, which I don't like traveling, but this year I'm gonna stay home. So I'm gonna be chilling. My wife, she's having some neck issues, like some muscular issues. So it's been very annoying actually. So I think for her it's good to chill next days, And that's something I always recommend to everyone. Take care of your posture, Sit straight on your chair, sit right. Like she's the kind of person that stays at her work 8 to 10 hours per day, and she does video editing, and she's very tense, kind of the hands like these, kind of working like this, and brushes everything. So trust me, for the ones in their 20s you might be fine, but when you cross 30, things are gonna go south very fast. So my recommendation before we start here, and I think the one of the best recommendations I can give: take care of your posture, ladies and gentlemen. And hey, Ante. I think Ante can probably connect to that. He, I think I know he's in the 30 plus club here. Even off here, I think I don't remind you from you, but welcome here as well. But yeah, so welcome to the Theia Roundtable. Joined me, Guy, and Will as usual. Hope you're doing fine, Will, on this beautiful Thursday morning in the United States.
Yeah, Thursday morning.
And
I'm doing amazing.
great
A little
stuff
bit tired, but getting through it.
happens. Take some rest, man. So everyone, we don't have the TN journal this week. So just very straight. So long story short, no, it was a short week in the US as well. Monday was which holiday was again in the US? Monday?
Labor Day.
Labor Day in the U.S. Yeah, you Americans are weird. The rest of the world celebrates May 1st, and you have a different day for your Labor Day or whatever. You like to be this special snowflakes. I know that. Either way, Monday was a holiday in the U.S. Me, I was planning to take Friday off, so we decided to push the Tion Jordan, and we are actually right now incorporating a bunch of new changes in the game. So we didn't get the Tion Journal ready. Instead, we're gonna have the Tion Journal ready next week, and then it's up to you guys. Me and Will, we can go through a shorter roundtable next week as well to only cover the Tion Journal. So my idea here for today is that we can cover we can divide this roundtable in two parts. We can do something shorter today, where I'm gonna answering questions as usual, and can go through some leaks as well. And then next week, when the when the journal is out, we can go something shorter as well, only for the journal. So instead, having 1 hour roundtable, we can split 30 minutes, 30 minutes, and then we can can see each. Even if we like this format, even I think we'll we can even decide this format is better, and then we do a 30 minute roundtable per week. So one week just chatting more leaks, and then the other week purely on the Tune journal. So that's something actually we can even try it out. But yeah, so we don't have Tune journal, but obviously I still gonna give the 2K XPs and the 5K TM coins on our Discord server. So reminder of that. Um, But today's then it's pretty much I'm gonna be sharing some stuff. I have some idea what I wanna show to you all already. So I'm gonna be preparing some a nice leaks. Like how much I like to leak stuff. So I'm gonna be showing some stuff maybe a little icon concepts, maybe a little some map concepts, menu stuff, who knows? Maybe depending on my mood throughout the roundtable, and Will can help me decide what to leak. Uh, but I think we can start with some general questions. Um, if everyone anything that you might want to ask about IoT, how the development is going, the process and details. I think there's a good chance because we're gonna be focusing today more on the Q&A with the eventual leak dropping by. So yeah, everyone, the floor is yours, and please ask us anything you might want. Meanwhile, I gotta get some drink.
Here.
It got hot here in Korea again. I was very happy that last week was pretty mild. Today was the last 3 days have been so hot again. It's just we're September summer. Just go out. I don't want to anymore. It's too hot here. I want Korea. The best weather in Korea is in the fall. I love mid September to late October in Korea. Yeah, mid September to October in Korea is so great. So I hate spring because there's so many pollen and I have allergy, this pollen allergy, and I almost die. Um, Winter is way too cold, but it's okay. Summer is way too hot, but fall is the greatest. So September to November, let's say, I love it, but it's too short.
I just for the winter, what gets me is just when it starts getting dark at 5 at night. I'm just
Exactly, Fuego knows the pain here. No, in Korea, I don't know what they have here, but I need to next spring make some videos. There's literally this a thick pollen in the grass like this here, this a dust, in the pollen. I can't go outside. I need to survive with a medicine and stuff like that. I can't go out that much. I literally I sneeze every 5 seconds. I lost my breath sneezing. It's ridiculous. I absolutely detest. April is the worst. April when everything's getting shiny and blooming is so terrible because here there's some type of and that's a true story that happens in China as well actually. That they try to combat deforestation, and they plant some certain type of trees and they grow faster than normal. But the difference is that they let out so much pollen. So that's why it creates literally this amount of immense amount of pollen is ridiculous. So it's very terrible here. Gafmare, hello. So yeah, any questions you might have here, otherwise I can show some more leaks here. Me and Will we can keep chatting a little bit about the game, and then I honestly I was even planning with Will to play the game me against him. But we have perhaps a couple of technical issues right now. We're gonna try to maybe fix throughout the call. Pretty much the reason that Will's account for whatever reason has no icon, so we can't play the game. I don't wanna play against the bot because we changed the bot and the bot now shows the full name of the icon. So the icons we don't have announced yet, they are already there with their full name and don't wanna show that to you guys yet. So that's the reason we're not playing. But I really hope to fix the problems and maybe as well next week or in the next roundtable we can also actually play the game. The game is actually much shorter than before actually. I think we have some new we have the neutral objective which is pretty cool the code name dragon. So no, I think Fuego, if you don't ask for stuff, I just keep talking more bullshit. That I don't want to leak too much. I have some leaks ready, so I'm not gonna leak more here. Come on. That's I know I think everyone's trying to play with me here, No one is asking anything, so okay, so you can go over the leaks, I know the intentions here, I know this community here. So yes, I can tell how the neutral objective works. So right now the idea of a neutral objective is that it's places in a certain part of the map in the center. It spawns in turn 2 right now, although we might consider to push back. It's a lot of iterative work on that. But basically the idea is that whoever less hits kills the neutral objective, which is TBD exactly what's gonna be lore wise. I have a lot of ideas, but we don't have the art yet. It gives a good buff for your attack and your caliber. So you do more basic attack damage and you do more ability damage. The side effect of that is that the neutral objective hits back. So it do that damage to you. So and you need to be very careful. Like imagine if you do a lot of damage to the neutral objective, then the opponent in their turn calls there and only lets it and gets the buff. So it's something like that you need to be very careful. We're still like in a state where we're balancing very much. I think right now in the current version, this neutral objective has maybe too little HP, so it's very easy to kill. I think in the next version we want to to put more damage into the neutral objective and more health. Sorry, so we like we get more balance. But the baseline is that killing neutral objective gives you extra attack. I think we're working with +3 attack, +3 caliber, which is a pretty cool buff. It feels like so strong. So it feels like you have a good kind of power play over your opponent if you kill the neutral objective. It's a way to. That's an excellent question for you about it currently does not move, although we might be considering something like that. Like it moves from one plate to another from the map. It hits the target closer to it. So the ones closer to it get attacked. So even if the opponent is closer and you attack the neutral objective, it attacks the opponent instead. Which can be a very nice trick in the game actually. Because you can in purpose just attack it so it attacks your opponent instead. So that's how we are working that it's a technically a melee range, but it attacks the closest one. So it serves to speed up the pace of the game, which actually did a good job on that. Games are lasting around 5 minutes, which is our intentional benchmark here. The game feels faster pace, more more dynamic as well. So we're gonna be testing a lot of mechanics to control the tempo and the speed of the game. We have a lot of stuff planned changing the tiles. Let's say we have the water tile and suddenly a tile gets sunken. You can go or a water tile becomes land. So changing terrain throughout the game. There's a bunch of terrain types that we want to try still something that provides you protection like a barrier sort of it that a barricade. Other types of terrain that we're gonna be trying. We have actually right now in the game 4 different maps with different concepts, different different pathing and mechanics, but we're definitely gonna be go with more. And using this queue, I want to actually go with the first leak of the day here. Talk about the maps more actually, and I can show I remember you seeing one of the maps that we had actually the normal map. I want to show the second map that we are the concept that we have been working on. So we are working as you might know, and let me find it a little bit. Apologize here. Let me see where the map is. Wait, did I miss a map? Wait, did I miss a talk? It must be somewhere here. Let me scroll up here. So we're gonna go for 4 different distinctive elements for the map. So the map here that I want to show here, is we call the waterfall map. It takes in a waterfall. So if you know from the current one it just takes place in a normal kind of terrain there and this one you can see the idea behind it being in a waterfall. So I'm gonna show a Slack picture here, which I'm gonna use here to share. I can just share my screen, right? I think that's better here. You can see here already, right? But this looks pretty interesting. Let me change the overlay. And you can see here this concept of our waterfall map. You can see here Florence and Celine in this map. You can see this terrain different types of water terrain, shallow water ground tires that you can walk, but it just slows it down, and deep water terrain that you can't you can move across. But you can see the different vibes. It's a very water heavy terrain. Waterfalls around, and you can see from the bottom right here, it's very different from the concept that we have here. So yeah, that's the second map we have been working on out of 4. And I'm gonna read Fuego's questions, but yeah, let me know your thoughts. What do you think we was about the waterfall map?
I think that this is gonna be one of my favorite maps, just visually to play on right away. I was just going to mention about the neutral objective. He mentioned that you have to be careful. I've had the dragon a few times, just complete. I have it a few times now. I would say honestly, like last night it happened to me like 3 or 4 times where it just absolutely was stolen from me and it completely ruined my game.
You should be very careful with that. I think like, to focus quite the defenses we are balancing it. From my current version, I think it feels too squishy, so we might up the defenses. So the idea is that like you can't just like one hit, one shot it. Like you need like some turns of strategy, or you need like to kind of like use a combo, perfect combo, like to use your resources to. I think you need to invest your resources to kill a dragon, and by resources is abilities because like if you use abilities on a dragon, that means that like you are on cooldown now. So you swap the ability to use abilities, the ability to use abilities to get the dragon buff. So I think that's what our orientations are gonna be. Honestly, like it's very early. We're still like not determining like a lot of stuff, but it's a good question to have. Like a case of getting Peter to use like Peter abilities. Yeah, the buff ability. So whenever the closest thing has to Kalista Rand, we don't have a Kalista Rand or mechanic. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's not like gonna be like as tank like another League Dragon, but I know what you mean. So like use Peter to someone that has a lot of damage, so you boost the damage so you can one shot. So I think that's what you mentioned, right? Something that shouldn't be intentional. I think you should like combo multiple ways, but we are still determining some mechanics. But that's a good point. But yeah, that's here about the waterfall map. As you can see here, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen here and go back to the other overlay. Great, nice transition here. So that's the one that I want to show everyone today. Yeah, like any other stuff here, Will, anything like to chat about here before we keep like talking with the leaks and other stuff. So if we're planning to this like to last 30 minutes, we still have like 12 minutes. So before like going for the journal, just one one shout out here if you haven't done so yet, if you wanna have like a early access to play the beta of IoT, go on IoT.com, the website, and then you can go to the join the waitlist and register there, like just in case for the ones who didn't do that yet. Sunsafe, will tiles change if characters are on then? Good question. Technically, you can set some, like let's say if Burble uses a flamethrower on a certain icon that's on a terrain, you can set that terrain on fire. That's the idea. So by the usage of abilities from other icons, you can change the effect of of terrains. But I like the idea something like a terrain that you walk on, if you get like alert because next turn or in some 2 turns it's gonna turn into something else. So I think I saw from another game that's something like that you walk in a ice terrain. Is that nice? If you walk at a character there, and then if you end the turn there, like the next turn it breaks the ice, so you you are on the frozen water. So that's an example of changing, but that's something we're considering with fire. That we might consider with water, but the idea is that no matter what, you can change a lot of terrains. I can't wait to show exactly the game how it looks like because it's much better to just show what we have than just keep talking here and trying to come with some ideas. But yeah, that's I think some pretty good questions regarding the terrain. Anything else here that we have more questions wise here? I always like to go full into that. Let me know if you have anything more regarding the game, any questions. And I understand it's a little lower today. I think having the journal helps for the questions, right, Will? I think if people had the chance to check the journal, obviously I think everyone feels a little more eager to come up with some questions. So no worries if there
even when we're
questions today.
Even when we start playing, I'm sure once we play another match too, people will start having questions as we go.
Yes, so I apologize for today the little poor poor man's roundtable. It's we need to prepare some more things. I want to to show stuff that are in a good situation. That includes the TN journal with the content that you deserve. So don't want to say, but for the TN journal, I want to review a new icon, the one that I showed last time. Hey Sparrow, how you doing? And we're still not completely finished. So that's why I didn't like I want to really review like a next icon in the next journal. So that's why I didn't show much, and other game stuff. And also like playing the game. Unfortunately, like, really I have planned to like to play the game with you today, but like we will have like a technical issue there, like and then we couldn't. So apologies for that. But maybe like we should do a next one next week as well and keep this one shorter this time. But I still gonna keep like on the XP and the TM coins like that. I always gonna do. So I am feeling very generous today. So let me go with a second the second what's the name? The second leak the word is, I found the word. Let me leak something else then. You guys deserve that. So let me go back to my screen and leak like these here. And let me change overlays again, and we can go for it. Good question. The Fuego, the reward leaderboard structure is probably gonna be changed. So we, and then again go with this because like I'm just showing how like an example here of art for the victory and defeat screens. So this like what you're gonna see like the currency here, the rewards here are just purely artistic. Like this is like does not determine everything. I just wanna show like the art now actually. I wanna show how the game looks like when you win, you're gonna lose. But basically like you're gonna level up your characters. You can show like leveling up, and you can show what you get and the opponent. I think a very simple leak. Hey Clay, CJ, sorry Clay, CJ, how you doing? But to your question, Fuego, I think we're gonna change like that one was more a model for the old Icons Clash. I think like what we're gonna do like is a pretty like ladder elo system that like you gain a game, you win a game, you gain like X points of like in a ranking ladder, and if you lose, you lose something. But I think we want a slightly different approach. Although the system we introduced 6 months ago actually it can work well just like in this game as well. So honestly, like I don't have anything against the other system. I think like the old system from Icons Clash it encouraged like a mixture of a gameplay and like being good at the game. So you need to be active, plus you need to play the game. So I think that's pretty cool to have. But we might be. I think we're considering like a system, that let's say you play a game, you win 20 points, and if you lose 15. That means that now even if you're like 50% win ratio, if you play a lot, you're progressing. Let's say if you play like 20 games per day, you win 10, you lose 10, you gain like 200 when you win, you lose 150, so you get like a plus 50 after with a 50% win ratio. And if you play 100 games one day, it's kind of like you get like 2000, like you have like 500 XP, 500 points. So it depends on your activity. So we're still gonna determine, but it's a good question. Just like no, we're not like fully committed to that yet. So this like the feature screen, I think like that is a simple one to show. You can see here like kind of the art. You can see the map here showing like the I really like the details on this one. If you see here, kind of like the crack here, like when you lose, like it looks cracked. It looks like destroyed. So it's a pretty nice like sweet touch here, and I think like it's a pretty nice thing to add. Now, what do you think, Will?
Yeah, no, I like it even too, like the little clouds, like the dark little clouds there above on the defeat. I love it.
A pretty sweet touch, I think I would say. So that's it for this screen. I have one more leak, which is an icon actually, and I'm not gonna say anything. Only gonna show the image, literally. But that's like this one here. What else can we talk about today? Any other questions before I go with the final leak of the day, and then we can start like wrapping up this short roundtable. And then next week, me and Will, we're gonna join with the GTN journal with more questions and probably playing the game as well. So let's say this is like preview icons Theia Roundtable in anticipation of the big one next week, let's say. But let me know if anyone has any other question. I'm gonna give, however, now the XP on Discord. So 2000 Theon XP and 5000 Theon coins. So send on the chat, please, your Discord usernames so I can give you the XP. Like someone like Fuego, I know already. So send your Discord usernames on the chat right now so I can give you. Fuego is here, amazing. So Fuego getting his stuff here. So I can allocate like the the coins and everything else. So Gambit is here as well. I'm gonna give to Gambit as well. And okay, Ivanov increased 2. So we have Ivanov. Let me go in order. Well, that is too chaotic. So we have XP to Gambit. And keep the questions coming. I still check the chat, and like me and Will can talk about it. So keep keep your questions coming, and then I can keep everything going up here. And Chris gets as well. Amazing. And let me get the coins now for Gambit. Sunsafe here too, amazing. And Ivanov. Wait, did I give to the I gave to the wrong Ivanov. Oops. So someone else I literally get I gave okay, I need to remove XP. Can I remove the XP? I can. So I gave to the wrong one. So I made a typo here. So Ivanov 007. Ugh, stupid. Now it's better. That's a good thing about this bot, you can remove everything. I really like this bot. And then Chris finally. We did shoot the 5,000 coins and Sunsafe, the last one. The good thing, you can make your mistake better immediately here. So it's very safe. So 2K. Remind as well that the Discord level up event that you unlock the prizes based on the level you achieved on Discord. It ends next week. I'm gonna run some some giveaways, some XP giveaways, so everyone can unlock a little bit more prizes. But I think everyone should be everyone today 2K it helps a little bit. I can see yeah, Gambit is 21 for example. Even of 6, I Sunsafe gross 10, which unlocked a prize. Fug is 11. So I'm gonna run probably a giveaway there, and I'm gonna give something wild, 5,000 XP or something like that to 10 people. I wanna give some some help to people and give them some XP. Anyone else on the chat that they have their Discord username for the prizes? Let me know. But I gave to this guy here by accident. But I removed. That was pretty cool. But and then I'm gonna go with the last leak of the night, and I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna show the beautiful image, and then I can let it go. Someone else here, Picarx. Amazing. So let me give this final one here before I go with the icon. Icon. I'm not gonna review anything. The icon, tease. Let's say. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna show. No information. It's just a new icon in the game that is come with this new collection here. So let me show, and then we can kind of wrap this one up. I think that's the highlight of the call anyway. So this here you can see here already on my shared stuff here. Let me change the overlay again, and no, not this overlay here, and then here's here and here. And this is a new icon here. Ignore here so you can see better. Amazing. So here there's gonna be a new icon in the game. Fuego likes. Not gonna say anything about this icon. No details, no faction, nothing, no extra stuff. But about this icon. And Will, what do you think? What player should expect from this icon here?
I'm glad that you were showing this one. Actually, I was hoping it was this. I was curious what you're gonna show.
I didn't know, right? I just picked one actually.
Yes.
Reaper from XCOM. I like the the concept of this one is very interesting, and honestly, I didn't finish completely the backstory, but it's someone that got heavily traumatized by the past, and it felt the whole world was against them. They were kind of those screwed off by the world, and in some way they just went full villain mode. So this icon here is and I can say is the first true villain in Icons of Theia. So like it's a villain. Like this side and this person here is like a hey Ante, nice having you here. Take care. See you next time. Thank you for being here. But this icon here is a villain. Like it's the first one that's like literally designed like that's someone that wants to see the world burning, wants to see everyone burning. They don't have any allegiance to anyone, to any faction even if they are technically from one faction, but like not doesn't mean they like their faction. It's someone like that's against the world. So someone like got screwed up by the world trying to be someone good, and they just like got broken by the tough reality like the world can be like the circumstance can be, and they just decide like to be to say like screw everyone, I'm just gonna do the things I want because like everyone's screwing me off. So it's kind of like a vengeance type of like icon, like they're gonna take revenge from the ones that always have like trying to bring them down. So let's say like someone like Batman, but like imagine if Batman went full like villain mode, maybe. So let's say I can give like this hint, but like this icon is gonna be an interesting one. Gameplay wise, you can very easily imagine the gameplay wise here how this icon is gonna be with this big ass rifle with the lenses. Like, can someone please guess like how this icon is gonna play in the game? I think it's very obvious, right, Will?
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be more of like a Tomo, like more of a range character.
Spoiler alert, it's gonna be more than Tomo. Um,
Yeah.
with the ability, this icon is gonna be the one with the highest base range in the game. So it can hit from far away, pretty much. So it's an icon that can hit from far away, and that goes like to it's a very sniper icon exactly. No melee. It's just like
He,
very sniper, and that goes
I
to
think they totally could though. Like.
technically could of course. But what I mean is that like Fuego made a question like Peter combining kind of using their buffing ability to certain icons. This here is like is a very good icon actually with Peter because of like they work very well together. Let's say. I think like the concept like dimension wise we're gonna just keep like the zone for the range for the time being. Although like in melee range we can consider like some future animations with some melee animations. Or for simplicity, it's like we're gonna keep range, but it's not poison. It's more like kind of like something like kind of like chemical that buffs the abilities to like the shots. Let's say makes the shots stronger, faster. So that's the idea. New set of icon skins. So we don't have anything planned for skins for the time being. The thing like we are very busy like with the not only making new icons but the whole like core gaming element and everything else like the animation art. So I can't promise anything like new skins like for new icons for when the game like or about the game around the game's release. Although we're gonna be trying to do like at least a couple, but regardless like definitely like post release or whenever we can, we're gonna be giving priority to the new icons to receive skins, considering like the original 7 already have skins. But so pretty much like summarize like we would love to have, we just don't know if we can have until the release, but definitely post release. So and definitely prioritize these icons like this icon definitely is the one that can be so many cool ideas because it's someone that I don't want to show their face. I don't want to even like it's someone like that. If you see their face, you might be surprised at how they're gonna be looking like. So that can be a pretty fun like skin material maybe. But let me stop sharing. I think like that's enough for this icon here. You can see like a zoom here. But let me stop streaming my screen and let me go back here and then close here and then change the overlay again. Great. Wait, I didn't change overlay. Do you have an icon that can give? Oh, I almost. Oh, my share here. Weird. My share here like went forward here. Okay, weird shit. Icon can give someone mobility. So kind of like no extra actions or more movement. You mean? I think right now the current 14 no, but I think for the 21 we're gonna have something similar that can give some mobility, extra moves.
And there's sort of with Michelle, there's sort of a way to switch around some other icons to kind of get there's a little bit of mobility even within like Michelle, I think right now, honestly.
Which one with Michelle actually? Michelle can make
Like the
Vitalis.
Taurus. And Vitaris can
Uh,
actually kind of switch, can it not?
they can switch. Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
Vitalis actually is busted because he can switch any icon, including the enemy ones. So they can switch the
Yeah.
position. Switch the position of icons.
Yeah. So that's kind of fun too. That gives you a good bit of mobility to play around
A
with.
lot of mobility because you can and doesn't have any clear range, so you can just let's say if you have some sniper like this one that I just show just stuck around the back of the map. Vitalis is a great counter because you can just pull it in swapped positions, which can provide a pretty good strategical advantage. So I gonna be wrapping this one up. Will any final notes for this slightly shorter roundtable?
I don't think so from here now.
Very straightforward. So I think the next week we definitely want to show more, to be sure, and that's the journal, and hopefully we can go with some gameplay so I can show the neutral objective how it works. I think that's something we kind of previewing today, but we want to show you how it's currently working the game. But in the meantime, any other questions, any final questions from anyone from the community here, so we can wrap this one up. Gonna give you 30 seconds for some questions. If not, then we can go out and enjoy the weekend. I know we still have work to do, hard to enjoy. Even it's the holiday, here, nah, it doesn't work this way. Exactly, like Peter the Sniper, they work pretty well actually, and I tried that. If as long as you can keep them safe, they're squishy. So if you can ally them with some tanky and some sustain, like let's say Selena and some Florence to support in the middle, then they can do a lot of damage. But the sniper one dies, and then your damage is much lower. But it can be pretty good. You can keep feel safe if you can maintain the distance with someone else, a tank in between. But as long as some of the lines fall, you can be in deep trouble. So that's it. Yeah, and Sun, no problem at all. Nice to have you here. Thanks for joining. So I'm gonna be wrapping up this one. Thanks everyone for joining. As usual, appreciate your presence, and little shorter one, but I hope you enjoy the small leaks that we had, the small teasers we had. Next one we're gonna be presenting I think let's do next one. I think Thursday is a pretty good day in my opinion. Might be do Thursday again. I think I like this day. I think I feel we are pretty lot of people joining. So we might do Thursday night evening again next week, and then journal, and we're gonna be playing the game. That's a big one to join. We're gonna be playing the game for you guys. We're gonna be describing live that you can miss. See you everyone next week. Have a great weekend. Take care and stay well. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.